This is Ben, and we're looking at an ACT reading question in a science passage. According to the passage, the relationship between man's influence and nature can best be described as. Okay, so this is a relationship question between two things in the passage, man's influence and nature. So we just need an understanding from reading the passage of which of these words best describes this relationship. Now, the one thing to know is that really sort of severe words are often, you're going to need pretty strong evidence to choose something like inseparable or hostile. So it's possible, but if you're choosing a really strong word like that in a question like this, you need to have pretty firm evidence for it. So I'm not going to read through the whole passage, obviously, here, but we can just see from the first paragraph some good examples of the evidence for the right answer. So this says, in all parts of the world, man has subjected many animals and plants to domestication or culture. Man has no power of altering the absolute conditions of life. He cannot change the climate of any country. He adds no new element. Okay, so a bunch of things he can't do to nature. So I'm going to go ahead and say inseparable is probably not going to be the right answer. I'm also going to say that indifferent is not the right answer because it does say that man can remove an animal or plant from one climate or soil to another, give it food on which it did not subsist in its natural state. And there's evidence for these things later about domestication and breeding and things like that. So indifferent isn't going to be right. Now, hostile we can rule out because here it says it's an error to speak of man tampering with nature. This idea that, just because man has something to do with nature doesn't mean he's tampering. So we're going to rule out hostile. The best answer here, two things that have a relationship where they work together, compatible.